Welcome back to the Elli-Yacht. Last week we did a review of the new standard flat mount dish from Starlink and compared it to the HP dish as well as the standard dish. One of the things we called out was this goofy stand that is on it, and there was going to be a challenge to mount this on our boat, which brings us to our review this week of the Trio flat mount for the new standard flat dish. We're going to do a review this week on it in these 5 separate categories.
Number 1 is fit. How does it fit? Number 2, functionality. Number 3, durability. Number 4, how does it look? And last of all, number 5, how much does it cost?
In 2019, we sold everything to realize our dream of living, working, and cruising full-time on our boat. I'm John, this is Carlin, and this is our home, the Elli-Yacht. Before we jump into the categories, don't forget to subscribe if these videos are valuable for you, and give a like, because they help out the algorithm and people just like you then get to see these videos. Alright, so let's get at it. The first category is?
Number 1 is fit.
Alright, so from a fit standpoint, I will start with what we're comparing it to. And this is the kickstand mount, and it actually, well, it kind of slides back and forth a little bit. Mm-hmm. This has a 60 mile an hour wind rating. I believe the reason that it has that wind rating compared to the 174 mile an hour wind rating that the high performance dish has is really just the mount. The wedge mount on the high performance dish, it screws to the bottom of the dish and to your deck or wherever you might mount it, whereas this particular one, it just clips in and it slides out. It's loose to begin with and it pops out really easy. Mm-hmm. So I think that's why they have that wind rating. We were thinking about doing a pole mount with this. A couple things that deterred us from that. One is that it has multiple types of metal. That's never a good idea on a boat with corrosion. And when we looked at the fit on this, while it does fit nicely into the lock mechanism, the bolt that holds the pole is it's a single bolt. And on a boat, I wouldn't trust this. Mm-hmm. So that
Nope.
It eliminated itself as an option quite quickly, which brought us to the point of the Trio. So if you take a look at this, as far as fitting to the deck, it has 4 separate holds and a really nice stance. You can attach magnets or suction cups. In our instance, we're just going to drill and screw it to the hardtop itself on our boat. But the fit, when you snap this thing in, is, well, it's remarkable. And it has absolutely no play whatsoever. Mm-hmm. And in fact, it fits so well that when you mount this thing to the deck, so you can imagine inverse, it's mounted to the deck, there's really no way to get underneath this and unlock it. So it would be there basically for the rest of your boat's life if it wasn't for this tool that comes with it, and you just apply some pressure and the whole thing snaps right off. So I'd say as far as fit goes, mm-hmm. This is 2 thumbs up. What's our next category?
Number 2, functionality.
So functionality wise, gosh, when I look at the mounting options that it has, and the build of this, I'm pretty impressed. And it fits so tightly. It's been well thought out how to release it for any maintenance. I'd say from a functionality standpoint, again, I'd give it 2 thumbs up. And our next category is?
Number 3, durability.
It is a high-density thermoplastic that is 3D printed, and it has UV protection in it as well, so it's not going to turn yellow on you. So from that standpoint, and I look at the rigidity of this thing, I mean, there's just no flex to it whatsoever. And it doesn't look like it's brittle. I mean, 3D thermoplastics have a bit of flex to them. So I have, I'd say from that standpoint on durability, I'd give it, I'd go give it 2 thumbs up. I mean, it's not thin on the mounting. It has bracing. They could have gone a little cheaper, a little easier on it from the time on the 3D printing, and they didn't. It's really, it's beefy. Which brings us to our next category.
Next category is looks.
Personal perception, but I think it looks pretty sexy, to be honest with you. You can also get it in black. On our boat, everything is white, so it makes sense to be able to do that, but on an RV or on a car, black may make a ton of sense. It's not going to have direct sunlight on it, so I don't think it'll get hot, or there'd be anything that would be detrimental from that. In fact, it wouldn't get dirty as much, or show dirt, I should say. But from a look standpoint, it's a pretty good looking mount. Which brings us to our fifth category.
Number 5 is how much does it cost?
Drum roll, please. So at the website, which we're going to list below in our description, if you're on a phone, sometimes it's hard to find the description on YouTube, but it basically just says more underneath the title down below. So click on that and it'll have the description. We'll put a link to the website for Trio Flat Mount. But it is $150, which I personally think is a deal. It solves the problem. If I would have just done the pole mount, I would have had to get a stainless steel receiver to mount it on the deck. I would have had to get some piping. I would have had to cut that, etc. This is less than $50, but by the time I have to get all those other parts, it would have been an imperfect installation. The R&D that went into this, the time to be able to create it and think it through, I'd say it's worth every penny of the $150. I probably would pay more. It just solves the problem, and I'm not going to have to think about it again once we put it on the top of the boat. To begin with, I do have suction cups, so I will be mounting it with suction cups, just to make sure we get the right positioning, we don't have any interference with anything. And then we'll mount it just like we would with the high performance dish with a cable clamshell. You just get that on Amazon. Again, we'll put another link down below for that, to run the cables down into our hardtop, and we'll be done. But otherwise, great job, Tim, who owns Trio, and came up with this mount and did it, quite frankly, before most people even had these dishes in their hands. So thank you. We appreciate it. And hopefully this video is valuable to you. Have a great week. Peace. Can you edit most of that shit out?
I'll do my best.
You want to start over?
Nope.
That last one wasn't bad.
The last one wasn't bad.
Okay. You're going to have to use the new intro, but you notice I didn't lock it this time? But that hurt.
Still bleeding.
Oh yeah, it's going to bleed for days.
Do you need me exploring?
Oh yes. It hurts.